And welcome to The Factor Uncensored, and thank you for joining us tonight. Allegations of sexual abuse continue to follow Michael Jackson more than a decade after his death. Judges in California have ruled Michael Jackson's corporation could go to trial. One of his accusers is choreographer Wade Robson. He is accusing Michael Jackson's corporations of helping Jackson allegedly groom him and other victims, as well as cover up any proof. All of my next guests here on The Factor Uncensored tonight, they all have a connection to Michael Jackson in some form or fashion. Record executive T.C. Tompkins, who worked with Michael Jackson as head of Epic Records during Thriller, Beat It, many of the great hits, and former dancer Shawn and also along with us on The Factor Uncensored, Emilian White, who is a record rep for Michael Jackson. They all work closely with him. Glad to have you all here on The Factor Uncensored. So, Shawn, before we begin,
yes.
You know Wade Robson, the one who filed the lawsuit. He came here to Houston. You've worked with him,
right.
And you talked to him about these allegations before the lawsuit.
Yes.
What did he tell you?
Well, to be clear, he came here to teach in my dance studio and was in my first documentary. He came here twice, actually, and the first time he came down here, very clearly, he said nothing ever happened, and that Michael Jackson was incredibly good to him and to every other kid that was at Neverland or anything he's ever seen. So that was an eye-to-eye contact that created a sense of absolute honesty that he was saying, yes, Michael Jackson was a wonderful human being in every aspect.
And this is the one who's now saying Michael Jackson molested him.
Right, and I understand why. I see what's going on. It's very clear. So once Michael Jackson had passed away, Wade had gotten offered an opportunity by Cirque du Soleil to choreograph the Cirque show for Michael Jackson. And he needed the blessing of the estate. The estate denied that. At that point, Wade Robson said, well, I'm going to file suit against the estate. I stood up for Michael Jackson. I stood by him, and he told the truth on stand under oath that nothing ever happened, and then the estate denied him. So then he went after the estate with Safe Chuck for billions of dollars.
Okay, TC, let's bring you into this. You were head of Epic Records with Michael Jackson, released Thriller and many of his other greatest albums. So your thoughts on this lawsuit, what do you think? What's your assessment of it?
Well, I just think it gives him another bite at the apple, and that's basically all it is. I think this is the third suit that he's brought, and they're claiming since Michael was the primary owner of MJ Productions or MJ Enterprises, that Michael, I don't even understand how they're figuring this, but Michael as an individual and a corporation should have been aware of what was going on, which we've never even proven that anything was ever going on. But a court felt like he had another shot to do the same thing. And then on top of that, Michael's estate is what's worth so much more now than when he was alive. When it was alive, that it is a much bigger target than he was back then. I mean, it's worth billions now.
And Emilian White, you have worked side by side with TC and Michael Jackson. You've been to his home, you've met his family, you have been to the radio stations representing him. Are you surprised now that he's gone and his estate is much more valuable that people are looking to take advantage?
The estate is worth over $2 billion. Michael Jackson's estate makes $75 million a year. So, you know, why not? You know, it's a cash grab for the attorneys. So, okay, let's go back in. Maybe we can settle for X amount of dollars. Anyway, we'll get paid. Now, Catherine is 93. Catherine Jackson is 93 years old. She's getting tired. She's getting tired of messing with Michael. You know, they might settle. You never know. So, you know, it's an opportunity for them to try to, the attorneys and the people who are suing Michael, to maybe try to get some more money or get some money.
And Shawn, are you surprised that Wade is still pushing this?
Well, I want to be clear on something. As a filmmaker, as I said last time when I was here 4 years ago, the film is a horror story, and the documentary filmmaker is a monster. This is horrible what's happening, and it has repercussions to the whole dance industry, which I'm heavily involved in. So it's hurt so many people. I am shocked And I'm surprised, and I had talked to Wade about this in the process of him developing this narrative, this false narrative that this is happening. That it's not just difficult for many kids, it's corruptive to his own personality, which was a great dancer, was iconic in his time. So it's very sad to see this happen. Michael Jackson clearly is innocent. He's a wonderful human being.
So, TC, for those who may be wondering, how will this impact his legacy? Will people shirk it off and say, here's another accuser coming after him because his estate is worth $2 billion plus now? Or will people say there's something to this?
Well, you know what? I believe that it is, as we've all figured out, is that there's a much bigger target now. There's a much bigger target, and it isn't a fact. He's had 2 shots already after Michael's death. You know, I just feel this is a new angle for them to try, and it just all depends on if he gets the right jewelry. If he gets the right jewelry, he may get away with it. But there's no new evidence. There's no new things to bring to anyone's attention. So anything that he could do has been done before. He's just repeating the playbook that he tried before. And I think it's ridiculous, but I mean, money, man, makes people do a lot of ridiculous
Absolutely.
things.
But on top of that,
and you've written a book really quick.
Absolutely.
And there's something in there about Michael Jackson. Many of the artists that you work with at Epic Records.
Absolutely, and Radio is King is the title of the book. And there are some conversations that I had with Michael concerning this same type of stuff in the book.
And Radio is King, and you can find it on your website.
Amazon and everywhere.
Okay, got it. Go ahead, Emillion.
But the fact of the matter is, Halloween's going to come around. They're going to play Thriller a million times, and Michael's still going to make a gazillion more dollars. So Michael's the king of pop. He's not going to stop, and you can't stop that.
All right.
So,
we want to thank you, gentlemen, for joining us here on The Factor. And since all of you have close ties,
thanks for having us.
And we're glad to have you here, not just people talking about it out the side of their asses. Still ahead.